Why, hello there. I'm Bryant Cook, and I guess I'm waiting for this thing to get going. Today we're playing the Epic Storm version 11.1. It's what I played in the Legacy Challenge this past weekend to a top 8 finish, but also the weekend before to a 5-2 finish. This list has been pretty great. I have been experimenting with some other stuff recently, like No Rite of Flame. I do think No Rite of Flame is probably the future. Um, but today we're stuck in the present and we're casting everyone's favorite red sorcery. Uh, we're live on Cardboard Alpha.Cardboard.Live. My first time being on Cardboard Live, so this is pretty exciting for me. Uh, yeah, and if you're interested in supporting the stream content, there are two links below for you to purchase items to directly uh, support both myself and Cardboard Live. So make sure to purchase a token pack, a Storm 20 baseball tee. Show your support for both myself and Cardboard Live. We greatly appreciate it. Anonymous Coward, yes. 11.1 and 10.8, the only difference is the mana base swap. I'm running the McKinley mana base, as I'm calling it, because Alex really pushed for a second Verdant. Basically, all it does is give you the decision on fetching for Trop over Volk in order in post-board games for Carpet. I mean, that's really it. I think that Bloodstained Mire is probably better than Verdant because the ability or the necessary need to be able to pulverize. So that's pretty much it. Otherwise, it is literally the same as 10.8. And I tried some things in the middle. They weren't that great. This is the list that Alex top 8'd the Legacy Showcase with the Massacre on the board. I just think that fourth Carpet is too valuable to be playing a Massacre. Like, Delver's one of those super close matchups where you need every bit of equity you can get. And Massacre's for a matchup that's fairly favored already. And then 10.9 was me trying 3 Defense Grid, 3 Veil to help combat Mindbreak traps. But for the most part, I think 10.8 is like honestly as optimized as the list gets. And now we're just trying a slightly better mana base with 11.1. Good question. Anyone else have any questions before we get going? I'm pretty excited to start playing some Legacy tonight. Doesn't look like it, so why don't we just hop right on in and let's play the best Legacy format. What did I replace Rite of Flame with in my Rite of Flame-less builds? Well, that's another really good question, Anonymous Coward. So, Land 14 and Mox Opal 4 were the two obvious inclusions to me. And then you're stuck with 2 flex spots where you don't really love anything. In theory, you could run Cabal Ritual there, but Cabal Ritual is kind of iffy because, like, it's not good in the Epic Storm. You're a permanent base deck, which means you don't have cards going to the graveyard. And you're also an Echo deck, which means you're shuffling in your graveyard often when you're comboing. So it's essentially just like a black Desperate Ritual, which is also a 2 off of Ad Nauseum. You just don't want that. So instead, I was running Chain of Vapor in the main deck, which opens up a sideboard slot so you can actually run Massacre. And then in the other slot, I chose to run a second main deck Chain of Vapor because when you have multiple Chain of Vapors, or I shouldn't say that, when you have multiple Chain of Vapors, you can do Chain of Vapor tricks by sacrificing lands and bouncing Moxen to generate mana. So it's essentially a blue Rite of Flame sometimes, but it also gives you main deck outs to like Thalia or Collector Roof in those situations. Opens up another sideboard slot. So if you chose to do this, it gives you Massacre and Reverent Silence, and which is pretty awesome. The downside is you just have less mana in your deck overall, so Echo becomes less reliable. And I just don't want my Storm Engines to be less reliable. I basically just want to win every time I can, and you don't really just want to like draw one Mox post Echo and be stuck. Yeah, Cardboard Live is great. All right, so I've been blabbling a little bit, and wait, is everyone who doesn't register Anonymous Coward? Yeah, thank you for the deck version thing. I mess it up all the time, but I hadn't gotten that close yet. So we're going to select 11.1 here. And 100 play points. I would recommend that people do sign up. I would appreciate if I got to know who I was talking to. You don't have to, but it would mean a lot to me and the people at Cardboard.Live. So make sure to register and use the links below the video to show your support by getting, the mini token pack and a Storm 20 baseball tee. We would both greatly appreciate it. But that's enough of me shilling. Let's play some Legacy. Lovestruck Beast. What a great person. Jay Stelz. It's been a while since I faced this person. But it doesn't matter what they're playing, even though they showed Yorion, because this hand is just completely unplayable. Goblins, 4-color control. I'm going to do a quick goldfish search here. Yorion nowadays tends to mean more death and taxes, but their entire history is snow cow for the most part, other than like that one Goblins League. So I'm going to probably put them on snow, but even with our opponent playing snow, we can't keep this hand. It's just not good enough. Much better. Alright, we will keep this, and I'm going to bottom Rite of Flame. And if they're on death and taxes, we're just begging to draw a Lion's Eye Diamond. But they're not, but we still would like to draw a Lion's Eye Diamond. Alright, another Claw. So this Ponder is really looking for an artifact to turn on this Opal. A second land would be good for casting Wish Claw as well. And we get all of that here. So we're definitely going to keep this. Hey, Jillian, how are you? Yeah, Wishclaw Talisman's great. Why is Alex McKinley saying you're welcome? If he gets out of line, I would like to find people at Cardboard.Live to permanently ban his account, please. Ungrateful people, like Alex, just trolling my chats. The president of Storm. I don't know if that's me. I am a guy who likes playing Rite of Flame. Oh, is Vivirus anonymous coward? Because I would agree with the latter half of that statement. Oh, thank you, Julian, for timing out Alex for 1 second. This is why Julian's secretly here. And on our next turn, we will be drawing a Lotus Petal. This is probably going to be an Oko, if I had to guess. Teferi. I'm fine with that. It doesn't really do a whole lot. Like, it slows us down. They essentially time locked us, I guess. And we could cast another Claw right now. I just don't know if we want to burn a Lotus Petal to do that. I think the answer is yes, because it saves us a mana later on. I've thought, like, Wishclaw is amazing. I've thought about playing it in Vintage. I just, like, haven't gotten that crazy yet. Like, I wouldn't be trying to play with Opposition Agent or anything. I'd be playing it to, like, activate it and then bounce it with Paradoxical Outcome. That's a thought that I've had a few times, because it, like, believe it or not, the Epic Storm plays more artifacts than Vintage PO. And Vintage PO sometimes, like, the 14 that you play doesn't feel like it's enough. So, like, why not play Wishclaw Talisman? I just haven't gone that far down the rabbit hole yet. Defense Grid. That just resolved? I wasn't expecting that. Can we ad nauseum? Like, I was like, okay, I'll veil the force and then I'll play grid. That is not what happened. So if I use claw for LED, no, we end up being one short. So if that's going to be the case, we need to echo. All right, get this Lion's Eye Diamond. Wow, chat's firing off tonight. Glad everyone's happy to be here. Wow, you guys are saying so much it's tough to keep up. Wow, Wilson bought tokens. For some reason, I just don't believe that. So we can play defense grid here or go get another Lion's Eye Diamond and spin. Chat, I'm going to let you decide. Do we play it safe and play the grid, or are we spinning again? Yeah, or I'm super unlucky. We don't always have it. All right, so we have one person that wants to spin. No other comments yet. All right. Only one person wants to. So, and Zero said don't spin, so we're spinning. We used our land drop, which was unfortunate. And we only gained a mana, so like we kind of broke even on that draw 7. Well, Wilson CBL actually did buy something that was not a troll, so thank you, Wilson CBL. I almost didn't believe it coming from Wilson. Hello, 90s MTG. Glad you're here. I think we're able to cast this ad nause. We definitely are. So the secret is we always had it. We just had to believe in ourselves. Wilson is my third biggest fan. I think that's probably about accurate. Oh, I forgot. Yeah, Anurag was complaining that I need to turn off Moto animations. So I'll try to do that right now. He said it was the box in the bottom left. It's literally not even coming up. Like, everyone's seeing that, right? Alright, animation's gone. We'll make Anurag happy. I live my life to make Anurag slightly feel better about himself, so might as well. So there's no Echo in the deck to flip, which means that the highest converted mana cost in there is a 2. No, Magic Online sound effects are the worst. Can't be living that kind of life. So I've been playing Magic Online for like, I don't know, 4 years, and no one's ever told me to turn the animations off. So I don't know if this is like a recent thing or what, but everyone recently has just like turned those off. So I'm gonna do it. And by everyone, I mean like on reg yesterday. So if it makes the experience better, I'm willing to do it. And that is how we board for Miracles, which I'm assuming that they're on, or Snow. It's the same for both decks. And I'm going to give the credit this game to Echo. I feel like Ad Nauseam was a side effect of Echo being good. I like Orm's comment about whatever those are being animations. Yeah, I'd probably agree with that. Those are not very good animations. But then again, I do get a little irritated when I play Arena and like Hydra comes into play and it takes like 10 seconds to go away. And it burns 10 seconds off your clock. This is probably fine. Thank you, Taco Tuesday. Somebody has to. Cast this Panda. All these green cards. You love it. TS is probably more green than red at this point. I haven't done the math, but it's probably slightly more green. You have 4 Veil, 4 Carpet, 2 Decay, 4 Rite of Flame, 4 Burning Wish. Now we have 1 more red card. I wonder if I'm supposed to imprint this Decay to fight over Carpet. If they didn't play anything on turn 2, they probably don't have a permanent hate piece. That's what I'm going to go with. And I'm just going to pass. Oh, the first Wilson alt of the night. Hello, Jack Mickey. Big fan. I only use F2 and F6. I don't really use any other shortcuts. Are they going all in on the anti-carpet plan? Oh no, they're going to give us 1. If this is Decay, okay. You can have an Ice Fang. Hey, Green Soul Ring. Well, that sucks. We do have a Brainstorm on top. I don't know if we're going to burn this Petal or not. Well, that really sucks. Get punished, Bryant, for imprinting that Abrupt Decay. I guess I'm going to fire off this Brainstorm, just like dig a card deeper. And they're going to punish me with the Carpet, too. Yikes. Alright, so we want to find, like, Ad Nauseam. I think we just lost. Yeah, I'm not even going to bother playing this out anymore. So the reason I'm conceding is that Carpet is going to trigger at least once per turn, targeting our opponent, and they'll draw a card here, and I can't cast these cards, so I definitely got punished for imprinting that Abrupt Decay. Was not quite expecting that. My own fault. Yeah, does Wilson CBL want to send me a picture of them with hair to put up on stream? I'm sure all of the people watching would love to see it. Well, that's quite the hand. We just need to draw a Veil now. I got the C so that way our opponent won't think about Veil of Summer out of us or anything like that. Okay. You know, not ideal. But if I get another protection piece, I might be more likely to just go all in on it. Or tutor, I mean, not protection piece. Alright, apparently Wilson has sent me a picture, so I'll have to look that up in between games. Alright, so at this point we're sort of just waiting to draw an action spell. This time we will not be throwing away the Abrupt Decay, though. And they just pass without a land drop. So I think that means that they have another force. Alright, if they're not going to be doing anything, I'm just going to pass. And there's the Coatl. Taiga is in fact the second best dual land in the Epic Storm. Okay, Burning Wish was a good draw. Do we think that this person plays Veil of Summer? There is one Veil of Summer in their last list. Pitching to Fairy. So this will make 1 mana next turn. I think I'm supposed to just like Burning Wish and get Pier. Alright, what's the play here? Okay, so we can actually kill the Leovold before the Carpet trigger. So they will get to draw 1 card off the Abrupt Decay, but not from the Carpet trigger. Alright, so we're going to make 2. Plus 2 is 4. So we're actually 1 mana short. So I'm going to add blue here and cast Brainstorm. I don't know if it's better to play Mire or Trop. I don't think it actually matters because we're not casting ad nauseum. That was a pretty fast movement. I would not listen to the new Brian Koval Deep Analysis podcast. There's a lot of storm propaganda in there. Um, you know, very, very bad content. It's very TES biased. I wouldn't believe in it. Wow. Lovestruck Beast is going to leave me right now? It better be for a good reason and not just lifting weights. Alright, we're going to target ourselves with Peer into the Abyss. I have accidentally targeted my opponent once, so we're not going to do that. Alright, so they're pitching Ice Fang. Do you have a fourth force this game? They're paying a cost, so maybe. Yikes. Fluster's like, it got me in the top 8 of the challenge too. I think it's kind of funny because like, I don't think Fluster's actually good, but people are playing it again. And we cannot afford to pay. Alright, so we're not out of this game yet. Ooh, very nice, Mike. Thank you, Wilson CBL, for buying a baseball tee. I think I'm just going to play out the land. They can know that I drew a land for turn. Although I did fetch that away, didn't I? Yeah, I did fetch it away, and then it was the top card again. Motobug. Fake news propaganda. It says, oh no, it does say Jacked Mickey. I'm sorry. Jacked Mickey bought a Storm 20 baseball tee. Thank you, Jacked Mickey. Fluster in Depths is a little bit different than I think than Fluster in Blue decks because like Fluster in combo decks serves as just like another method of protecting yourself. Where in control decks, that's not really how Fluster is used. Like, yes, in the grand scheme of things, you are flustering to protect yourself, but when your opponent plays an Oko or an Uro or a Dreadhorde, Fluster is really embarrassing. So, over the course of 2020 Magic, Fluster has gone away for those reasons. And the last like week or so, people are playing it again. But like, it has to be really embarrassing whenever your opponent casts an Oko and you're just staring at a Fluster in your hand. Like, honestly, I think Spell Pierce would be better a lot of the time if that's what you want to be running instead of just like another force effect. And I'm not trying, like, this has nothing to do with our opponent. I'm sure our opponent's a fine person. Um, and I don't even hate Flusterstorm. Like, I own 4 Japanese foils. I love the card. It's just, like, I don't think this metagame is right for the card. Yeah, and, like, Veil is one of the best cards against Flusterstorm, too. I mean, our opponent did draw a reasonable amount of interaction this game. I'm not trying to make any excuses. It's just, like, they had, some stuff. Uh, I thought that we might have gotten it there. We didn't, but we're not out of this game yet. Wow, Julian with the daggers wants to fast forward the stream. Julian does not like my commentary on Flusterstorm. But I bet Julian would be happy to hear that I think that Elves is pretty good right now. Uh, I faced it twice in the challenge on Sunday. Uh, the deck is very scary. You know, like I am legitimately afraid of dying on turn 2 against Elves now. The deck's just a lot faster than it used to be. It plays more haymakers. Like the deck's very brutal. All right, still waiting on our opponent. Orem says the reasoning why Fluster should be good is when they don't even want to bring in Spell Pierce, etc., and Blue Mirrors, so they can just play Fluster because it's more powerful. So, Orem, do you think that Fluster is good in the meta, or are you saying that even if Fluster was good in those matchups, that Spell Pierce wouldn't be? I'm not quite sure if I understand. I just want to make sure that I'm understanding what you're trying to say. Like, I do think that Spell Pierce might be awkward in a Snow Shell over time, just because you're not really pressuring mana. But I think you can't really afford to allow a turn 3 Oko to resolve either. I remember being at the Philadelphia, and I say Philadelphia with air quotes, Legacy Open. It was a team open, and then there's a Legacy. I think they're called Challenge, whatever the classics were on Sunday, and people were trying one Oko in their deck as like a tech card, like as a fun of. And then like the next weekend, four was the standard. Like they were just like, oh, this Oko card is way better than everything else. Hi Kai, not a coward. I would recommend signing up for Cardboard.Live so everyone else can know that you're also not a coward. Hope you're doing well. Ah, I see. Orem is saying that you don't want Spell Pierce and Blue Mirrors. You want better options, so the overlap isn't great. All right, and there's the Quaddle. Another diamond. I'm going to hang on to that for now. They make very good beer in Moravia. I do know that much. All right, come on, deck. Let's draw something good. Another carpet. So we have all the mana we could ever want, but we do need to draw cards that actually do things. And I'm a little bit worried at this point in the game. Our opponent has not activated Wishclaw Talisman, which means they probably have another force. Wow. CBL James with the Flusterstorm daggers now. It's alright. Can't win them all. Or I will agree with that. I think that sideboard cards should generally be higher impact cards. Like it's always funny to see like the way that some people build their ant decks. Jace the Mind Sculptor, throwback, where like they'll board out Duress in some matchups and then bring in Flusters, and it's like this is such a small upgrade, and it's not all about Fluster, but like they have so many cards that do similar things but only slightly different. But you don't really want marginal upgrades; you want haymakers, and like that's the way that I started building my sideboards a few years ago. And that means that we're flat dead here. We had to draw like an Echo in order to beat like Force plus anything else. And Earl hits pretty hard, so we are starting today out 0-1. Alright. Get back into the queue. And update our record. And I guess I'll try to see if Wilson CBL really did send me a picture. Oh, Wilson Hunter did send a picture. Is that real? Oh, look at this. Oh, I didn't mean to bring that up, but everyone, look at Wilson with hair and a beard. How strange is this with those hipster glasses coming from me? Wow. Look at Wilson. All right, let's get back into the queue. Who would have known that Wilson was choosing to be bald for years? Why would you do that? I don't understand. Looking like Mr. Clean on purpose with less muscles. Wilson, you look very, very handsome. All right, we're on the play. Keep. All right, well, this is pretty good, assuming that our opponent is not on a blue deck. We don't really need the Ponder, so I'm going to keep this. And that this way, if our opponent isn't on a blue deck, we have a turn 2 ad nos. But if they are on a blue deck, we can just jam Talisman on turn 2. And it looks like a blue deck. Delver. So this is probably blue-red if I had to guess. Get that bad land so we have all 4 colors. And Wishclaw. Sweet. I guess there is that Rug Delver list now playing a basic or two. I think there's I know that there's a basic mountain. I don't know if it's playing basic islands. Alright, so drawing Echo was not the worst thing here, but drawing anything that made a mana would have been better because it would allow for claw into Veil while playing through Days? Because now, okay, well, happy to see that it resolved. But if we had a claw for Veil there and they have Forced Days, we just lose. This is a lot faster, at least. Maybe it's right to turn off the animations, because this is going pretty quickly. This whole time was just stupid moto animations slowing us down. Alright, we'll stop at 4. Oh, I didn't realize that my chat was delayed. I was like stuck on old messages. Yes, bald shaming on CBL. My apologies for not realizing that I was delayed. That's a very good question, Julian. I don't know. Maybe I'll fill my life with happiness finally. I've been waiting this whole time for that extra 30 seconds, so I can finally be happy, maybe. All right, and we have taken game 1 from some sort of Delver variant. So Alex McKinley did say that playing without the animations on is tougher to tell when your opponent's F6'd. I sort of get that. I don't know. Maybe that's something you get used to, though. And I did this weekend. I realized I'm trying to not board an Abrupt Decay right now versus Delver. They only have one Null Rod effect, and it comes down to like, would you rather have your deck be more consistent at what it does, or beat Null Rod? So something else I was trying was boarding out instead of boarding out the Rite of Flames, is just boarding down on artifacts and trying to do this. I did this in the round 4 that I won versus Rug Delver, so maybe I'll try that again right now. It's just like making Null Rod less effective and just winning through carpets and rights and burning much if they do have it, rather than boarding in cards that suck in the matchup anyway. That's a waste of time, Wilson. We spent like 35 minutes on that first match because our opponent like went to the bathroom or something. So trying to get some of my life back. Null Rod is a joke. Also, Orem, I'm a little disappointed. I was looking at the 5-0 deck dumps. You're playing decks with sideboards now? I thought you were so good you didn't need a sideboard to 5-0. We're going to cast this Panda. Yes, please. Okay, just like a backup. I get that, Orem. I should probably start like a legacy meme that Null Rod is a crutch, right? Like any card that beats you, you're supposed to just like shame people from playing. So maybe I'll just start like everywhere I go, like on the Eternal Glory podcast, all my videos, streams, just say like, "Hey, Null Rod is a crutch. You shouldn't be playing it. Card's bad," and just make people feel generally bad about themselves for playing cards that helps them win. Maybe that's the direction I'll go in life. You love to see it. Anonymous Coward, please consider signing up for Cardboard Live. That way we all know who you are and you can enjoy our company much better. But also, I would not tell anyone that I played Colorless Post, personally. That's like something you whisper to your significant other on your deathbed, like, oh, I've played Thought Not Seer and Karn before. This is looking like straight blue-red so far. James, are you trying to shame me for who I am? Sorry, Julian. I believe that Tinder's for people that are under the age of 45. I have no clue actually how old Julian is. I'm just making fun of him. Julian, you're probably 20. What do I know? Seems very strange to me to force surgical carpet. And now they're playing rug. Love it. Our opponents brought themselves down to 14 as well, which means we don't need a whole lot of Storm for Tendrils of Agony. I don't think I know who Unicorn Lord is. Maybe I do. Taking this Delver beat. Playing the Delta because they know about it. They do not know about this Bloodstained Mire. And now we'll play Claw. And if Claw gets forced, I don't know if we're going to fight over it. I think I'd rather keep the Veil around and just try to brainstorm into an LED. Are they going to double daze me? Or is this a stifle? That was strange. Maybe they're just going to replay that land in Oko now? I mean, playing Painter is a fine deck. I'm not going to comment on how valid it is, but if you enjoy playing it, that's fine. How lucky. We just draw the Lion's Eye Diamond right when we need it. So I'm going to fetch now just so we don't draw all of our black sources. And we'll just need a very small amount of mana for this Echo to win. Alright, so that's 5. We're actually a mana short still. But what we can do is turn this Wishclaw Talisman into a Lion's Eye Diamond, and that will give us both the mana and the storm we need for Lethal Tendrils of Agony. There's a card that our opponent could have here that could stop us, but I'm guessing that Rug Delver does not have it. Yeah, Fugitive Wizard is not a very powerful legacy card. Yeah, Unicorn Lord, this looks like the Rich Caley Delver list if I had to guess. I was actually talking about it last night with Sir Thomas Hepp, Trophy Leader Extraordinaire, on how Rich Caley is a very good Magic player. I think Rich is a great person, great Magic player, but Rich plays Magic very differently than most people. And I find it funny that people are so quick to copy Rich's deck lists when Rich just like plays ultra conservatively a lot of the time. Like Rich is the type of player that will never tap out turn one against combo, even with a Delver in hand. Um, so it's weird to me that like people are so willing to copy someone's deck list who plays entirely different from their play style. Maybe these people don't know any better. Maybe they're aware and they just like choose to play that list anyway. I'm unsure, but it's just like an interesting thought. Like it'd be better to copy someone's list who plays a style of Magic that is more similar to yours. And once again, if you want to support this stream, check out the links below that go to the mini token pack and the Storm 20 baseball tee. You will be supporting both myself along with Cardboard.Live. These are the mini tokens that you can get. 6 mana symbols, 1 storm symbol, 9 different goblin tokens on the backs, 54 tokens overall, and they're mini. They're half the size of your standard Magic the Gathering card. You can get those in the links below. Or Wilson's favorite item in the shop, the Storm 20 baseball tee. Hello, Doogs, my Australian friend. Hope you're doing well. Wow, CBL James, that was a sick burn. And for those of you that might be watching this later, not live on alpha.cardboard.live, James says Wilson likes the baseball t-shirt because it's good washed, just like him. Oh, I forgot to update our record. We're now 1-1. All right, we're on the play against Alex West. Looks like they play a lot of Death and Taxes, which lines up with that Yorion being revealed. Alright, I'm going to keep this. I feel like we're pretty close to a turn 2 empty. And we're on the play, so just going to see how it goes. End step Brainstorm. Really want to find like a Lotus Petal off this Brainstorm or Lion's Eye Diamond. I don't think that Death and Taxes plays. I mean, there's a Flooded Strand in this list, but I don't see a Yorion in here. I don't know. I'm going to assume that they're on a non blue deck. Wow. Have it all, why don't you? So we definitely need... Alright, so it sucks, but like we have a decision here. Do we try to play around? Because like we can peer if we don't respect them as a blue deck. Or if we want to, we can respect them and then empty or echo. Do we want to... The results are Maverick with 2 Flooded Strands in them. Death and Taxes and Abzan Maverick. So I don't think I'm supposed to respect them. I think I'm just going to peanut butter and jam. Yeah, or you're probably right that empty should win. But I'll be honest, I kind of just want to cast Peer. Wow, Duke shows up for 5 minutes and is already criticizing people's Mavericks list. Never mattered. Should I assume that people that play Maverick also play Mindbreak Trap? I think that's probably a pretty fair assumption, right? This person's list does not have them. But they also don't have any cards that Veil would matter against, so it's pretty free to leave in defense grid. But I guess they have Chalice of the Void. Maybe that's a reason. And I'll just accept losing to defense grid. Or losing a Mindbreak. Wow, chat's just making fun of Dukes now. I feel bad. Dukes, you're great. Don't listen to chat. Although I think that Dukes on Twitch should probably just be rebranded to Dukes. Otherwise, you're going to run into some issues down the road. Or just like start converting things to like Green Sun Zenith. But some jerk took the Epic Storm on Twitch, so I am MTG the Epic Storm. Well, this is a turn 1 peer, so we're going to keep this. Wow, okay, so there's something. Well, that was actually an insane draw. Because we can beat Interaction now. I don't know what our opponent's playing, but... Wow. Max Opal, MVP. Force pitching Baleful Strix. Alright, so do we want to... I mean, I think we probably should just, like... There's no reason to hold back this LED, because if they force this, we're going to lose anyway. What plays Baleful Strix anymore, though? Oh, they're double force. Jeez. And I thought my hand was good. Alright, so we're going to sit here and lose this game so we can figure out what the fuck our opponent's actually doing. Is this like Esper? Is this like Esper Hate Bears, but with Yorion? I think that's what this might be. Alright, so I'm just going to sit here and gain a little bit more information, and then we can go to game 3. Kind of shocking that the 80 card deck, though, had double force on turn 1. I guess the Baleful Strix makes a lot more sense in this deck as well. Alright, so there's the Meddling Mage. That pretty much confirms our thoughts, and now we can go to the next one. So we can bring back in these Veils. Don't really want Carpet. And it's going to seem crazy, but I like boarding out Ponder. I just found that like the matchup isn't really about Ponder. Now you're on the play for game 3. Not keeping that. I don't love this, but it's probably fine. Maybe we can get like a Brainstorm to fix up this hand or something. We need like a Veil Summer and like a Lion's Eye Diamond for this hand to be good. Turn 1 Vial. This person's like pretty aggressive with how they force. Like that was not a card they needed to force there. So I think our plan becomes like, what do we do with this Burning Wish? We could like get a Thoughtseize and cast it, or we can get like Pure or Echo, but we're pretty far away from casting those cards as well. Astrolabe, that's kind of spicy. Alright, well, Veil was a good draw. I think we're supposed to get Echo, but it sucks, obviously, with Meddling Mage. Or maybe we'll draw LED off this. It sucks that we're burning the Veil now as well. Alright, so we're just going to grab Echo. I don't like echoing against the deck with an Aether Vial in play, but we're so far away from Pier. And I can use the other Burning Wish to get Pier as well, if I need to. There's Recruiter. Revealing Meddling Mage. Okay, so they're probably shutting off the Echo here. So I wonder if we should try to pivot into Pier this game. Okay, so that's 5 mana. So we'd have to draw a Dark Ritual over the next few turns for Pier to work. So maybe I should wait a turn to pick a line. Yeah, I think I'm going to wait. Because if I get Pier right now and then draw Lion's Eye Diamond next turn, it's pretty embarrassing. Or if I draw a land or something, that makes my decision a lot easier. Alright, so they can actually get Yorion right now, which is also scary for Meddling Mage purposes, along with Recruiter. Claw. So I think I'm just going to see if they actually hit the land for Yorion. Hopefully they don't have it. Alright, well they have land 5. I don't even know if we're supposed to respond. Like, so they're going to play Yorion. They're going to flicker Recruiter. So they can get something that costs 3 and put it into play and draw 2 cards. Is that any different than just bouncing whatever they try to put in play? Like, I could also just, like, Chain of Vapor the Vial here. I think I'm just going to let this happen. I guess they could get like a Skyclave Apparition. Should I bounce the Vial here? If they could easily sack a land, then bounce Claw. I think I'm just going to let it happen. Because if they try to Skyclave, I could also just bounce the Wishclaw Talisman. They did, in fact, get Apparition. So I do think that I want to. So this is 6, 9, 10. Yeah, I think I'm just going to try to chain this so that way I'm setting up a longer pier line. Okay, so now I can play Double Claw. Hopefully they force one of these. Because they've been pretty eager to force cards so far. There's also a chance that we just get like pressured out this turn because our opponent did draw 2 additional cards last turn, so they might be able to play double Hate Bear. I will not be streaming Yuri on Storm today, I'm sorry. Another recruiter. They chose not to use the vial as well. For Soul Herder. So, are they trying to get another 3-mana card? I can't figure out why they're not using the vial. Thank you for stopping in, Unicorn Lord. Okay, so yeah, bouncing Yorion seems pretty good. Alright, so they should be able to get another Apparition and then exile both Claws. Assuming that they play 2 in their 80 card deck. Wait, did our opponent mess up or am I... Oh, it's because it triggers on the end step. So if we think our opponent has a force, it would honestly be better if we... It's tough because if we think our opponent has nothing, Burning Wish for Pier wins. So what we would do is we would use 2 lands, go get 2 LEDs, Burning Wish, and we have exactly enough for Pier. But if we Chain of Vapor the Meddling Mage, we could theoretically beat a force. They've used 2 forces so far. They probably have 8 if I had to guess, because they're playing 80 cards. Yeah, I'm not sure what the right play is here. Something else I'm worried about is if we do take the line of bouncing the Meddling Mage is giving them a new hand of 7 just to use Aether Vial. I think I'm going to go with the Pier line. Her opponent is not F6, so I'm not feeling too good about this. Alright, well, Burning Wish resolved. How about this Pia? Hey, and Pia resolves. You love to see it. So, I'm not trying to comment on our opponent's play at all, but I'm wondering if last turn, if they had this option to search, was there something that they could have gotten that would have stopped us from winning instead of just, like, playing Soul Herder for value? Because, like, this isn't really a value matchup. So is there just, like, a 3-mana Haymaker that they could have gotten instead? Maybe. Max, to be honest, like, if you can just cast Pier, why not? Because, like, the Chain Trick also loses to a force, so both lines lose to a force either way. Yeah, and I believe it was Jacked Mickey that wanted a grape shot, right? Woo woo. 2-1. And while everyone's here, make sure to follow all of our social media channels. Do that while we wait for the next match. Max, I think that Pier's pretty deterministic in the Epic Storm. Like, it's not 100%, but it's got to be above 99. And on the off chance that I do my math wrong, like, why, like, take the chance? Alright, we're facing the Brogan, who, according to MTG Goldfish, plays almost exclusively miracles. Why you would want to play exclusively miracles, I don't know. But this is something you can choose to do. Our opponent is mulligan to 5. So I can't lose this game after talking shit about miracles, because that will just look bad. So we're going to try really hard to win this one. Alright, Ponder was a reasonable draw. I'm just going to jam a Witch Claw this turn. It's a better use of the mana, and I want the Claw in play anyway, because if we draw like a Veil or something next turn, we might be able to add Nas. Hypothetically, max, sure. Alright, one force down. Sylvan. I guess it's better to play Trop here in case we ponder into another Claw. Wow. Okay. So our opponent has 2 cards. I don't think we can peer this turn. I think we're short. So we have 3 mana, 4 mana, 5 mana, 8 mana. So we're 1 short of peer. I can empty for a bunch, or I can echo. 2 Supreme Verdict is all that this list plays by the looks of it. We should be able to race an Oko. I'm thinking empty. I don't think that I want to echo here. And who doesn't love a little Black Belcher every once in a while? Alright, time to cross our fingers. And once again, if you're enjoying this content for some awful reason, click on the links below, purchase a mini storm pack and a baseball tee. Be like your good friend Jack Mickey. That's a Leo. They did not fetch a white source there, which means that maybe their list is a little different this time and they're running a card that I don't want to say that costs a black mana. Well, it costs 2 and a black, but you get the idea. Julian, if you don't appreciate the content, you can probably head over to Thraben University and purchase some Thalias there. Alright, so I'm gonna list this as 4-color for now. Like, we saw Leovold and a C, that's not really miracles like. All right, boarding these. Wow. Are you saying that Thraben University is not a real university anymore? That's messed up. So there's a troll in our chat, and I would like it if somebody could get an answer out of this troll on when the next season of Legacy Premier League would be, because I would be very interested in being a part of that. Hello, Jarvis. I hope you're doing well. All right, the most important card in our hand is resolved. Two out of these three are so good. I don't think I can chip this. Alright, so we're going to be adding a blue right here, and it's casting Brainstorm. Okay. I'll take that. We can even kill that Scum Leovold on their end step if they decide to play it. Alright, it's definitely not Miracles with Basic Forest. Gentlemen don't play Basic Forests. Talking about you, Julian. You know, Julian, I never got my... I don't want to say I didn't get my prize, but I was told that I'd be getting a Legacy Premier League shirt when I won as a personal trophy, and that never happened. I'm not blaming you, but maybe the American counterpart did not keep their word. Alright, so this is going to add 2. That's enough for an Adnaz. But Leovold never stood a chance. I guess in hindsight, while trying to entertain you guys, I made a play mistake. I could have avoided Memory Trap there if I, was paying full attention. Instead of just making Ad Nauseam my third card for no reason. We'll stop there. Go get the 5th best land in the deck. Tropical Island. Hey. But yeah, Julian, on a more serious note, I really would love if Legacy Premier League came back. Love being a part of it. Super high production quality. Everyone in it's great. I mean, Jarvbot is never going to get revenge. I feel like I've played this person recently. I rolled a 6. How lucky. According to my spreadsheet, I have not faced them since the banning of Luris. Maybe I watched somebody else play them. Espervile. It's because they won a challenge recently. That's it. Starting to get pretty windy here. Like there's a storm going on. Not making just a bad pun. It actually is getting pretty windy. The Eternally Surprised. Are you a fan of the Eternally Gloried? Hey Dre, how's it going? I don't know if I want to keep this. Like, the vials or the veil's probably worth it against Esper, but I don't love this. Nice, nice. Alright, we're just gonna pass right now. I don't... So, like, what we could do is fetch and cast Brainstorm and just, like, pray to win. Instead, I'm just gonna, like, take a turn off here. You know, fetch the second best land in the deck, and then next turn play Brainstorm fetch. This is probably a Meddling Mage if I had to guess. Shocking. Come on, just name tendrils. They name Burning Wish. Alright, Ponder's not a bad draw. Don't want to fetch a Trop and signal that we have Veil in hand. Alright, we just have to find Wishclaw. I wonder if, like, Jacked Mickey isn't really just a Wilson alt, but, like, one of Wilson's many personalities. Like, Wilson's just, like, a schizophrenic, and one of them is Jacked Mickey. I'd watch that television show. or real life, whatever it is for Wilson. But another person with the Astrolabe. Oh, they're a Yorion version as well. I totally missed that. There it is. No fetch land. That's a little bit of a bummer. Alright. Okay, so there's not usually a card we care about at 1 mana for our opponent to get here. Another Meddling Mage. So this is the window right now. It's interesting to see these Esper Vile decks pick up Astrolabe. Not that it's bad or anything, but like people have always said that the mana in this deck is the worst thing, and maybe this is like something that helps fix the mana. Like that might be an improvement. Like maybe playing 80 cards is actually better for this deck. It certainly makes a lot of sense with all the enter the battlefield triggers. And we could do like a cool ad nauseum Chromox trick right here. We just don't need to do that. It just opens yourself up to, like not winning. So something we do want to do though is not lose to a Swords to Plowshares. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go get like a Lion's Eye Diamond here. And getting Burning Wish would be a mistake because our opponent does have a Meddling Mage on Burning Wish. So we are just going to grab the main deck copy of Tendrils of Agony. And boom. Nice and clean. Get out of here, Meddling Mage. Alright, I'm just going to make a quick note that this was a Yorion build. Yeah, Dre, for sure. Yorion just makes a lot of sense in these human builds if they're going to be similar to like a Death and Taxes sort of deck. Like it's just another way to go over the top. And our opponent's very good. Like I believe they won a Legacy Challenge like last week. I don't remember if it was the Saturday. I think it was the Saturday one, or maybe the Sunday one was like the finals was just like a pair of Esper Vile players. So like the deck is certainly well positioned at the moment. Vile ×2, Snow Delver, and 4-color control twice. Yeah, I'm going to keep this. Yeah, Espervile isn't the easiest deck to play, but I do think it's within your wheelhouse, Dre. So I think it's a deck that you could pick up. And I think it's relatively affordable, but I could be wrong about that. And I'm going to attempt to jam a turn 1 Claw here, because it is one of the better things that this deck can be doing. And it's not like this second copy of Burning Wish is that great in our hand anyway. Love it. I love when people just force a turn 2 Claw. Cowards. Dre, you play Modern all the time. You could just invest that time into a greater format. Is it because Spirits isn't that viable? Like, it's essentially the Legacy version of Spirits. Alright, let's get rid of these. Deal 1 blue mana fetch land. Ooh, Ritual was good. Yeah, I guess we'll keep this now. And then next turn we can Burning Wish for Thoughtseize. Well, playing a format with Force but no Dark Ritual is probably what Dre would prefer. Uh-oh. Soul Herder Charming Prince combo. But this does believe that does mean that our opponent does not have a Force open. So I'm going to cast Ad Nauseam. A problem with doing so is that we will be drawing Burning Wish return with Tendrils as our top card. So I can try to Ponder for a mana source, or I can take the guaranteed Ad Nauseam. What do you think, chat? Do I try to Ponder? And I guess like it would only make a difference if we had a fetch land. So maybe it's just correct to cast the Nausea anyway. I think it is, because like, what if I just like hit a land and then, yeah, I'm just gonna Nause. Suck it up, take 4. Opal is a good reveal. Now we want like another Chrome Mock so we can do some Chain of Vapor tricks. Alright, Petal should honestly be enough to win this game. We'll stop there. Oh, and we still have a land drop too. I feel like I'm lagging a tiny bit. Shade of Vapor is so good. That's why I was saying in the beginning of this stream that if you missed it, you can go back and check that out on YouTube later on. But I've been trying a list without Rite of Flame recently, and I'm running 2 main deck Chain of Vapor because a lot of the time it is literally a blue Rite of Flame. But I'm not super sold on no rights yet. It's just something that I've been trying, and it is fairly good. We got that 4-1. All right, chat. I'll let you decide if you've had enough of me or not. Would you like to stick around and watch another league, or should I go watch more Titans? JKU says league number 2. All right. The legend Negator 77 has not had enough. All right, so we will play a second league, but I do need a quick bathroom break though. So in the meantime, why don't you go subscribe to the Eternal Glory podcast? Yeah, it's great. It's myself, Bryant Cook, alongside Brian Koval and Phil Gallagher. All right, chat. Can you hear me? I muted my mic, and I believe that I've correctly unmuted it. You should be seeing my screen now with this up here. So I'm going to leave it up to you. Would you like to watch 11.1 again? Or would you prefer if I played the no Rite of Flame-less that I've been brainstorming? There's not a 77.0 yet, Thomas. So the no Rite of Flame-less is essentially this, and then we gain Massacre, and then Reverent. So this is the no Rite of Flame-less if you want to watch this or just 11.1. Yes, Max. 11.1 and 10.8 is just the fetch land difference. Alex was pushing for 3.2 instead of 4.1. So that's essentially the difference. I tested a few other lists in between. You can check those out in the YouTube VOD. But yeah. So no one has any preference on which version we play. So CBL James says no right. James so far is the only one with an opinion. Max would like to see Reverent Silence. All right, so that's two for no Rite of Flame. Let's try it then. Let's do no rights. And then when we go 3-2, we have deterministic evidence that Rite of Flame is better because of one more match. Look at this! Look at this scrub up here. 45 trophies. What do they do all night? Do they play like 10 leagues a day? How often do you have to play to get 45 trophies? Wow. Look at this person. That Negator 77. What happened to the first 76? The entire Wu-Tang clan. The RZA would fuck me up. But we're on the play against Wu-Tang. They have no legacy history. Well, no goldfish history. We can try this. CEO of 4 Rite of Flame, 4 trophies. That is correct, Max. That said, I have not been playing a whole bunch of Legacy this trophy season. I was playing quite a bit of Arena for the first half. Vulcan Aponda. Probably a Delver variant. Exactly. Preparing for the Rite of Flame ban. That's what it's all about. So, I'm going to sacrifice a Chrome Mox here to power out a Claw through Days. And if they want to force a Chrome, that would also be delightful, but I don't think that's going to happen. I guess her opponent could be a Sneak and Show pilot as well. It's a pretty common start from them. I will pay for that Daze very gladly. Thank you for wasting a card. Julian, you should just play TES. That is a great call. I heard it slaughters elves. It also, the mind behind the Epic Storm also won a Legacy Premier League back in the day, if that matters to you at all. Alright, Brainstorm wasn't a bad draw. Let's see if we can convert this Chrome Mox into a fetch land. Hey. All the claws. Look at this. We almost have the city's blessing, and our opponent has no permanence. This is ideal Magic, right? I know that Max in the chat loves calling the Epic Storm City's Blessing Storm. Another Brainstorm. We're not under any pressure, so like we don't need to force ourselves to go for it right now. Wow. That was pretty good. So here we're just going to play a Burning Wish. If they force it, terrific. If not, we're going to grab a Thoughtseize. Wasteland number 3. It's not going to save you. They're just trying to take us off City's Blessing, and honestly, it's a little bit disrespectful. Phyrexian Dreadnought? This was a deck this person chose to play. But that does mean that they have Stifle in their deck. So we're about to cast Ad Nauseam with the land drop open, no mana floating, and a Wishclaw Talisman in play. I swear I just shuffled you away, Tendrils. We can stop there. You know, for safekeeping, we'll play this defense grid. We need to build up Storm anyway. Do I want this Chain of Vapor? No, let's just shuffle. Got it anyway. Alright, so now we're going to get a Dark Ritual, and that will be lethal. Woot woot. I don't even know what to list this deck as. Like, it's clearly like a Rug Delver variant. It's just like playing Dreadnoughts. Yeah, that's definitely what happened, Dre. Dre says, do I want this Chain of Vapor deck? Yes. It feels wrong listing this as Rug Delver, but like I think it's probably right to list it as Delver, and then in the comments say like Dreadnought package. I don't know. It's like a little bit of a brew. Alright, sorry, I realized that I never finished up the notes from last round. Alright, so we definitely want to bring in 4 copies of Carpet. And then you have to ask yourself, like, how do I want to board? I think you end up boarding just, like, a bunch of artifacts out. And I'm still on the no Decay Plan versus Delver. So, post-board, you actually end up on a very similar list as before. Except now you have... I'm sorry, I need to board out one more card. Except now you have one more land in your deck, so you have 14 lands. I probably don't need Chains versus Delver. Would I rather have Chrome Moxes and stuff or Chains? I'm going to do this. I've been liking the no Decay Plan versus Delver. What, do I say Dreadnought weird, James? You have a problem? CBL James is a bully. Wow, that was a good draw. Alright, and now we just pass. Next turn we're going to play another claw. Most likely. They revealed Force of Will to their Delver. Classic. Stifle is pretty good against Wishclaw. We have to keep that in mind. And we just lost. Alright, so our opponent opened up their one-off. Womp womp. And our hand is pretty good that game too. Alright, so do we want to board in the decays? I still think the answer is no. Most lists only have one null rod effect, and like, I think you're better off just pretending that they don't have it. I'm going to keep this, but I'm not happy about it. Yeah, James, I tend to not let that sort of stuff bother me. Like, I'm very much play to the math type person. Like, just because you lose a game to a card doesn't mean that you need to, like, freak out and over adjust. And if our opponent's not going to do anything, we don't need to either. And it's worth noting, if they, like, slam a Collector Roof here, we do have Burning Wish. The Lurgoyf. Ooh. Alright. Big fan of the carpet draw. Alright, so we're going to switch phases here. Make a black mana, fetch for the basic swamp, play Wishclaw. And I left open the Verdant because the Verdant can fetch Trop for this Veil of Summer. Alright, so I think I am going to fight here. We do have another Veil, which makes me more comfortable with fighting. They got us. So now their Goyf grew considerably, and if they choose not to replay their land, they're better off against Carpet. But our opponent says that they are not afraid, and we're just going to try to draw lines at Diamond now. And there's another Lurgoyf. Alright, Ponder. This doesn't really do a whole lot for us. I'm going to ship it. I might have made a play mistake this turn. Well, it doesn't matter because our opponent decided to force here. So I probably should have... Ooh, that was a good draw. All right, I'm going to get a Thoughtseize here. Because if I had played the pedal first, I could have Thoughtseized myself without cracking the pedal. But I just don't need to do that because the opponent forced. Would still love to draw a diamond next turn so we can cast this Echo with more mana floating. They have 2 cards in hand. In our draw step, they're trying to decide if they want to do anything. Nope. Okay. It's a little bit risky. I'm going to cast the Brainstorm here. See if we can improve our odds of winning this turn at all. So that Brainstorm will replace itself. But our opponent could always Wasteland themselves, and that's a tiny bit awkward. And they chose to not take that route. Or I guess they could still do it here. I will allow you to stifle that, sure. Alright, so we don't have to play around Stifle anymore. We just need this Echo to be the absolute nuts. And it was not. Alright, so now we're all in on this Brainstorm. I just don't think that this is enough. Yeah, there's no draw that does it here. We can put back the 2 lands, shuffle, draw Brainstorm, and then Brainstorm into the nuts. That's the only way we could possibly win this. This is one of the downsides of the no Rite of Flame list as well, is that sometimes you're just like really choked on mana. Alright, so we're going to have to move to game 3 now. Or was that game 3? I guess that was game 3. Okay, so we started 0-1. We did what we could. Can't be too upset about that. Yeah, Jarvis, but like, I don't know. Maybe I should have like stuck it around a little longer. I just figured I was dead. Like, what are the odds that they can't get like instant sorcery land to the graveyard in 1 turn? Maybe it was a little hasty of me. There is a delay between what I say and what happens in chat. Like I've noticed that a little bit. Like you guys are like, I don't know, like 10 seconds behind. Pulling out the Delta first here, because if we need to Veil, that allows us to brainstorm fetch on turn 2. I don't know what Netscape is. Like the 1998 internet browser? No, if that's what you're referring to. Claw was a very good draw. I think we should try to jam Defense Grid here. You know what, Julian? I don't know what kind of drugs they have over there in Germany. I don't even do the drugs that they have here in the United States, alright? Not exactly my wheelhouse. What plays Underground Sea and Tarn? Like Doomsday, maybe? Pitching a Ponda. Alright, I'm gonna fight. I think that this is probably Doomsday. Yes, exactly, Mike. Mid-range wars time. I don't know, Jarvis. It doesn't really look like Ant. You know, the whole Force of Will thing. Looking pretty Doomsday-like to me so far. Guess we put these back. Try to draw a mana next turn. Volk is a strange one. Is this just like Grixis Delver? I guess Doomsday could probably play a Volk. Punish for the F6. I guess we have a chain. I guess that's what I get for F6ing on my opponent's turn. Nice flash creature, jerk. I have no idea what's going on anymore. But I would like to draw a Dark Ritual. I feel like I'm about to lose by doing this, but if they have a force, I mean, we get forced regardless, so... Now we can Echo if we don't draw exactly Dark Ritual. Alright, I think I'm going to Echo. I guess in theory I don't need to Echo right now. But I'm going to. Okay, so the fetch land's not good and neither is the claw. But what we can do is play another grid. And now we'll just be 1 mana short again on our next turn. It's worth noting that we're also about to take 8, so this ad nauseum is not going to be super effective anyway. Brutal. Quit drawing those. So we really need this brainstorm to just be the nuts. Alright, so we need 7 Storm next turn. One of the best things we could do is just like naturally draw Echo. Or like one of the main deck chains, I suppose. They left that? That was... I'm fine with that. Alright, come on, Brainstorm. Nope. Alright, so let's concede and go to game 2. Carpet seems decent. I don't know if I want these or not. Like, I guess they do shut down Agent. It's not like these cards are super good in the matchup anyway. Like, opals and stuff aren't really what this matchup's about. But we do board out chains. I think those are probably better served as Moxen. Something like this. Alright, we'll be on the play again. I'm going to maiden phase this to play around Pyro. I wonder if I should just, like, play out the Chrome Mox in case of Thoughtseize. Might be a little too cute. Because if, like, they Thoughtseize us, they just put Echo to the graveyard, which is kind of funny. But I guess, like, it's not doing anything in our hand, so it's probably better to play it here. Like, I think it's actually just right to play the Chrome Mox. Max, yeah, but like I know that I want to draw the Burning Wish on top, so I don't really want to shuffle away Burning Wish. Like we have a turn before Agent even comes down. Like Agent shutting down Fetch Land 4 isn't as impactful to me as like taking a random draw that could just be like another, like average card. Um, Probably just the Thoughtseize. All right, well, goodbye, Force. I wonder if they're just going to main phase Agent or not. Probably not, because they want to hold open Pyro. But you never know. Alright, so we knew that they drew Scalding Tarn. Alright, so if we can just draw something that makes mana right here. Like a Dark Ritual. Or an LED. Not Veil of Summer, though. I mean, Veil of Summer is a fine draw, don't get me wrong. But really would have loved it like an LED there. And another land that we didn't know about. Alright. So I don't think it's correct to Psycho Veil here. I think that's probably fairly bad. And there it is. And now we get to spin that wheel. Ding dong. I guess it's probably good to keep that, right? Probably don't need grid 2 or this brainstorm. I'm going to play one grid just because we can. Like, there's no harm in doing so. And now our opponent is dead. Nice Agent. I'm trying to think of like a 2 and a black 3/2 creature, but I'm like struggling right now, other than Agent. Because this was essentially like a draft common, this game. I'm sure Dr. Jarvis, you in chat, will have a 3/2 creature almost immediately. Plague Engineer is a 2/2. I'm going to leave this. Is Jarvis struggling right now? Is Jarvis cheating and using Gather to look up a 3/2? Oh, Barony Vampire. I missed it. My bad. Please forgive me, Jarvis. Why would I ever question your wisdom when it comes to old cards? That's my fault. I think that keeping this would be an undisciplined mulligan decision. Like, this hand obviously looks great, but it's secretly, like, kind of bad. I think you're supposed to ship it. Much better. So much better. Yeah, Max. Like, I feel like a lot of Storm players would actually keep that hand, even though it's like pretty terrible. And the Lotus Petal here was just a great draw. So now next turn we actually have Ed Nas with Veil backup. I could have stacked it better though. Like, I wasn't really paying a whole lot of attention, just like trying to read chat. And I put Claw on the bottom, so if our ad nauseum, let's just assume that it resolves and we don't have to Veil, I would be taking 2 to start. They might have 2 agents in hand. But we have this Nas. Force a negation, pitching Mind Sculptor. Please resolve. Boo. Are we about to get blown up by a fluster for the second time tonight? Okay. You will resolve. Hell yeah. So it's worth noting we did board out 4 zeros. So we have 1 in hand right now. We don't have a guaranteed kill. Yeah, so I think it's probably best if we just stop here. So we have 1 Lotus Petal and 1 Chromox in the deck. And, I'm sorry, we have 2 Chromoxin, 1 Opal, and 1 Lotus Petal. I think it'd be, honestly, like, insanely greedy to keep flipping. And instead, we're going to play Carpet into Defense Grid. So a K command here would be a little bit annoying. Um, I think it's probably right to get rid of the Veil. The Veil's kind of bad when you have a grid in play. And if we play another grid, that Veil's never getting any use. So I thought about discarding the Brainstorm instead of the Veil, but I think ultimately Brainstorm's the better card to keep. Uh-oh. They left in Bolt. I think that means we're probably like dead to a K command next turn. Or a big fish. Ah, cowards. If we had only kept flipping, clearly. Well, that actually was fairly bad. So we're going to go to 1 now. If we need to, we can always mini tendrils. I just would rather not be in that situation. And I'm just trying to get Storm up by using these Brainstorms, and Dark Ritual's a fine draw. Alright, so playing this Witchclaw Talisman turns on Opal. So we have to ask ourselves, like, what's the line here? Our opponent's at 18. Burning Wish represents Storm 7. Storm 8 would be Tendrils. So that means we're 1 Storm short, but we have this Witchclaw. So we can just use Witchclaw for, like, pretty much anything that just makes mana. And so now we're going to add a red here. So that's 5/8 mana, which means that I can actually play this grid because it's free to do so. And yeah, that will be lethal. And we have a perfect 10 drills. All right, thanks for stopping in, Julian. I realize that it's probably fairly late there. I appreciate you being here. All right, 5/2 is not so bad. It's like a top 16 of a legacy challenge. Victorious champion. I think one of those would have worked. All right, we're on the play. Nope. It's a pretty good 6. I think I'm just going to ship it. I don't want to spend a bunch of time like pondering over and over. Like obviously Chromax wasn't a great draw there. Yeah, it was not jams. It was sads. Vista and Preordain has me feeling like we're facing a combo mirror, though. I have a feeling that our opponent's playing like Omni. However, in hindsight, called it. Hindsight, that Ponder would have been fine because of the Veil of Summer. Omni's already a fairly bad matchup. Oh, they're on Pokepile? Okay. Super punished. That's not really how it works, James. Speed doesn't matter as much as, like, if you're the combo deck with Forcible, you're just way favored. We actually talk about that in one of the more recent Eternal Glory podcast episodes titled Mid-Range Wars. We are so dead. Alright, game 2. Not going to play that one out. I lost that game on turn 1. Man, Moto's so glitchy tonight. I might just like need a restart or something. I appreciate you listening, Dre. Unlike James, who I go on James's streaming platform, doesn't listen to our podcast episodes. Jeez, some people. Oh, Jack Mickey, are you a fan? Jack Mickey, would you believe that we've had more episodes with Brian and Phil Gallagher than we did with Wilson Hunter and The Anurag Das? Wilson's okay. Now look who's playing Rug Control. I could cast Brainstorm there, but like I know that there's a Burning Wish on top of the deck that I'm like not super thrilled with. So instead I'm gonna play Wishclaw post combat and get the full equity out of Brainstorm next turn. Because if like the claw gets forced, like I'm fine with that. Like we have another tutor on top, we don't need this. Good deal. Wow, Eternal Glory is your third favorite Legacy podcast. I'll remember that, James. I will remember that. Pokepile with Meddling Mage now? Jeez. Probably naming Burning Wish. We did board an Abrupt Decay for what it's worth. Jarvis, I don't know what the Nathan Stower deck is. I am willing to listen. I'm just not quite sure what it is. Okay. Veil of Summer. Yeah, like where else do you go to find out about pizza if you're not listening to the Eternal Glory podcast? Although it's been a while since we've talked about pizza. My new wife, sounds weird saying that, but she discovered that my favorite pizza place secretly mixes to make their buffalo pizza. It's like buffalo dip. It's all just cream cheese and hot sauce mixed together. So we've been making buffalo chicken pizza with just cream cheese and hot sauce, and with the pepper jack cheese and stuff, and it's just delicious. It's like honestly, it might be the best pizza I've ever had, and it's homemade. It's so good. And now you're getting your pizza tips here on Cardboard.Live. Hmm. Probably not right to just like burn that. That was a mistake. I just thought. Oh, please don't skip. I'm just like doubling down on the misplays right now. I should have put the pier on top in case they played another meddling mage. All right, so we have 5 mana in play and a Veil on top. So if they play an island here, we're set. Alright, and there's no point in jamming, so we're just going to pass. I do think that I am going to fetch away the Brainstorm, though. Why would you shuffle away Veil there? Oh, shit. I forgot about Meddling Mage. Oh, that was dumb. Alright, so I'm going to keep the Brainstorm on top now. That was me being dumb. That's why. Alright, so we can get rid of these. I guess we can massacre... Or no, we can't massacre these. I just also messed that up. I just realized. Because if I was going to get Grape Shot... I'm not playing well right now. Yeah, the line now becomes getting Thoughtseize. Yeah, like I'm just getting punished for playing poorly. So we have Tendrils on top with Veil under it. And that's what they laughed. Jeez. Alright, so we need to fetch. That's not good. I don't even know how we win this now. Like, what's our out here? I don't know what it is. Perfect. Alright, so far Rite of Flame-less list is not doing well. Although I feel like that game was probably my fault. I feel like I threw it a couple different times. I just did not play that game very well. Alright, new match, time to bounce back. Sure. Wow, Tom comes into chat and brags about trophying. Congratulations, Tom. Negator77, how close is your trophy count to your age? Would you like to tell the class? Keeping LED on top in case of possible discard. Cavern. Oh, we're facing goblins? All right, so we're able to pass here. Next turn, I think we should be able to draw Burning Wish and Peer rather than Ad Nauseam. So what we would do is you would tap Chrome, use Claw, go get a Lion's Eye Diamond, and then these two lands represent Burning Wish. This one was tapped for Wish Claw, so you have LED, LED, Wish, or LED, LED Opal for Peer. Wow, and now people are just dumpstering depths in the comments. I mean, if you're going to make fun of that deck for anything, it should be its awful deck name. Rainbow Depths. See, the Epic Depths, that has class. That's a delightful deck name. That's the kind of deck name you take home to meet the parents. You know the league is going well when you're doing so well in the league that you get paired against goblins. And this is why it's important to run Rite of Flame. The Epic stands for Eternal Players in Control. Not that I think that that's very accurate anymore, but it was at the time. Fun fact. The Epic Storm is named after the team that I was on as a child, and I didn't pick the names, but I did like partially name the Epic Storm because it was loosely based on the Perfect Storm. We just put our team name in there instead. Fun history lesson for you. Wow, Rugved's here, huh? Hello, Rugved. I wasn't old enough at the time to be making decisions. I was the young kid on the team. Alright, so we got game 1 against Goblins. Peer to the Abyss on turn 3. That's all we do for that matchup. And a friendly reminder, if you want to support this stream that you're watching, look below. There's 2 buttons, one for the Epic Storm mini token pack and the other for the baseball tee. Alright, so game 2 against Goblins. This is what we have. I don't think that this is very good. I'm going to ship it. Yes. The question is whether or not Opal is better than a second land. I think I'm going to bottom the land because I'm sort of just planning on casting this fairly quickly. But I guess if they have like Leyline, then the land would be better. You lose that on Storm Count. I think it's better to just play around Leyline. I don't think saying like you just bottom Opal every time is fair because like if you draw an artifact, Opal's much better than the second land. Oh, I guess Chalice too. Like I think that was actually a fairly close decision. But in hindsight, like when you know what happens, obviously it looks less close. I wasn't playing around Blast. I was not going to. Wow, it destroys colorless permanents. Like I'm gonna play one of those. Yeah, I would agree. Wishclaw Talisman is greater than Emrakul against Goblin Creator Maker. That makes perfect sense. So, in theory, we could Dark Ritual, use one of the mana to go get Veil, play Veil. We'd have 2 mana floating. We can play our artifacts. And then Echo. Seems fine. I guess they could blow up one in response to Crater Maker. Or that what I said didn't make sense, but they can blow up the Opal in response. Or the LED. I guess it's probably better to play Claw first here. Or not Claw, Petal first. Because if they wanted to stop me from getting Metalcraft, they have to blow up Lotus Petal and I just sack it. And that way, this way, if I post Echo draw stuff, this remains in play. Yeah, Valent Chalice is pretty good. Cannot be countered is not limited to blue cards. It works for Chancellor, Counterbalance. Like, Counterbalance is blue, but it also stops that. In theory, if our opponent decides not to respond to things, this wins the game. Okay. They haven't conceded, so maybe they have a mind break, but I'm not playing. Oh, I can't afford to play around it. Like, it's just not an option we have. So we are casting this Tendrils. Okay, so final match of the night. Let's see if we can finish this strong with a 7-3. All right, who's the final boss? Is it Negator 77? I once beat this person in the finals of a Legacy Challenge. They were on Ant. I'm pretty sure it's the same person. According to their search history, that is not true. Just Bug Delver with Deathrite Shamans. I don't actually know what they're playing. I think maybe I'm getting the users mixed up. Not so sure. But once again, before we decide anything, I would like to show everyone this photo of Wilson Hunter with hair. I would like you to be as scarred as I am with Wilson's hipster glasses and beard. This is Wilson Hunter, who apparently chose to shave his head for over a decade when he could grow hair. I just want to point that out. Hello, Wilson. Ant does not play Scalding Tarn. Probably should have redirected my lights a little bit. They're more directly on me than they normally are. And it's like causing my vision to be a little bit wonky, but also it is fucking hot in here. So maybe next time I'll make them not so directly focused on me and maybe like the walls to the side instead. Pretty good draw. That turns Burning Wish into a Thoughtseize, which is pretty good for us. All right, no fetch land for the opponent. We like to see that. Chain of Vapor, you know, it's kind of eh. Not exactly blue Rite of Flame in this situation. Like, Rite of Flame there would have been a welcome draw. Okay. So we can most likely determine that we are not facing Sneak and Show because Sneak and Show does not play Force of Negation in the main deck. I was just going to make a joke about it could be like blue-red experimental, and then I forgot the second half of the name of the card. It's like a 4-mana sorcery that makes an XX, and you get to return a card from your graveyard to your hand. But I can't even think of the name now. Menta. Experimental Overload. Thank you, Jarvis. I knew that you would know the name. I'm thinking about just like bouncing this Mentor. So what happened with the Eternal Glory podcast is we felt like Wilson didn't like Mentor enough. So we found a podcast co-host that liked Mentor more than Wilson and we replaced him. So that's why we have Brian Koval with us now. Instead of Wilson Hunter. Bobble. Alright, we're really looking to find a Veil this turn. So that can get us the Thoughtseize we wanted, but we're going to be taking some damage. I was not going to add Noz in response to the draw trigger. I feel like that's a little risky. So if this gets forced, we can add Nas. I was going to say if it resolves, then we can cast that Massacre card, or just go and get Thoughtseize, but we don't even have to worry about that anymore. Alright, so we're casting Ad Nauseam with 2 petals down. Ding. Alright, come on, deck. I'm either winning the game or losing the game this turn. Alright, so we're at 6. We could theoretically die. I think we have enough mana where it's okay to stop and cantrip a few times. Probably better to start on Ponder. Shufel. Ponder again. Ding. How lucky. We drew Tendrils of Agony. Can't believe how lucky we are. You just always have it. Alright, 20 drills. Alright, so we got game 1. Step 1. Alright, so we want 6 of the green cards. Get rid of these chains. Wondering if I want land 14 over a Mox. Like, boarding out a land doesn't seem crazy to me. Like, because you actually want the Moxen for Ad Nauseam and Echo. I'm gonna try this. They kept 7. I am going to keep this. Maybe that was a bad idea. Maybe I should have thought through that for a second. We'll consider like charity work. Yeah, I probably should have mulled that. Okay. You could cast Brainstorm there. I'd rather just hold it till my turn and look at one extra card. They bottom both off Preordain. Wasteland, I was not expecting that. Okay, I feel like we're reasonably in this game now. It's like pretty free to get the basic here. We have this like currently a Mox Opal in play, taps for any color. And then, you know, we have a swamp here, but then we have the Verdant for an additional green if we need it, and boom, what a draw. We're jamming. Our opponent will need double force here. I guess they could have force pyro. Or a force fluster. And everything just resolves. That's interesting. This a mind break trap? Why are you pausing? You have surgical? Paying costs? It's probably surgical. Yep. Alright, we just want to draw Tendrils of Agony. Okay. That could have been worse. So let's start off on Brainstorm, because then we can fetch and cast Ponder. We've played a land this turn, so I'm going to put back... Alright, I'm going for the win this turn, so I'm just going to put back the land. Alright, does that do it? So Dark Ritual's 4 mana? Yeah, that does it. So Dark Ritual and Taiga is 4, Lotus Petal is 5, Chromax is 6. Get that Tendrils. Our opponent said GG's. And to summarize, we went 3-2 this league. And we never used Reverend Silence. We never really wanted or needed to use Massacre. That said, there was a few spots where I felt like Rite of Flame could have improved. And those are like the incremental advantages of Rite of Flame, I think, over this Rite of Flame-less list. Like, that's why I chose to play the Rite of Flame list in the challenge this past weekend. Like, the Rite of Flame-less list, that's tough to say, but the one without Rite of Flames, I think it's just like lacking something in those 2 flex spots. Like, if there's ever a new artifact printed to turn on Mox Opal that was good in our deck, or something like that, it'd probably be fine. But as of right now, I feel like that deck list is just like 2 cards off from being really good. So I think like this is probably the path of the future, but for now, like, it just feels like something's missing. Yeah. If you have any thoughts on that, feel free to leave them. This is going to go on YouTube, so leave them in the comments below. Make sure to purchase from Cardboard.Live right now if you want the Storm tokens or baseball tee right now. And I'd like to thank James and Wilson for setting all of this up and having me stream on their service tonight. I hope everyone has a great night and a great holiday. Thank you for tuning in. Hey, Bryant Cook here. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe, but also follow the social media channels down below. If you want to support this content directly, I would recommend going to theepicstorm.com/shop. And if you need a little bit of assistance with the Epic Storm to get to that next level, I would recommend going to theepicstorm.com/tutoring. Don't worry, there's more great content coming right up.